Welcome back to English Compass. Have you ever been in a room where people are speaking English? You understand almost every word, you know the grammar rules, you have studied vocabulary for months. But when someone turns to you and asks a simple question, your throat tightens, your mind goes blank, your heart beats faster, you smile, you nod. You say, "Sorry, I'm still learning," and you stay quiet again. If this sounds familiar, you are not alone. You are not broken, you are not bad at speaking. You are just carrying a heavy burden called shyness. And shyness in a foreign language feels like standing behind thick glass. You can see everything, you can hear everything, but you cannot step forward. I know this feeling well. For over 7 years, I studied English in silence. I read books, I watched videos, I passed exams with high scores. But in real conversations, I froze. I avoided meetings, I skipped group discussions. I told myself, I will speak when I'm confident. But confidence does not appear while you wait. Confidence appears when you move. Today, I will share my exact journey from shy silence to steady speaking. I will show you the moments I failed, the habits that changed everything, the simple phrases that gave me courage, and the daily practice that turned fear into flow. This is not a story about becoming perfect. It is a story about becoming willing, willing to try, willing to make mistakes, willing to speak. Before we begin, take a slow breath. Place your hand on your chest. Say this out loud. My voice matters. My progress matters. I will speak today. Good. Let's walk this path together. The weight of silence. Let me take you back to a moment I will never forget. It was a Tuesday afternoon. I was sitting in a small cafe with 3 colleagues. We were discussing a project. The conversation moved quickly. People shared ideas, they laughed, they asked for opinions. Then someone looked at me and said, "What do you think?" In that second, time felt heavy. My brain started racing. I wanted to share an idea. I knew the English words. But inside, a voice whispered, "What if you say it wrong? What if they don't understand? What if you sound foolish?" I felt my shoulders rise. My breathing became shallow. I smiled weakly and said, "I agree with you. It's a good plan." That was it. 2 short sentences. Safe, empty, quiet. I left the cafe feeling tired, not from work, from silence, from holding back, from carrying the weight of unspoken words. This happened again and again, in language classes, at social events, during phone calls. I developed a habit of listening carefully, preparing answers in my head, and then never saying them. I believed a dangerous lie. Speaking English requires perfect grammar, zero hesitation, and native pronunciation. Until I reach that level, I should stay quiet. But here is the truth I learned later. Native speakers do not speak perfectly. They pause. They restart sentences. They use filler words. They ask for repetition. They say, "Wait, let me explain that again." They do not wait for confidence before they speak. They speak to build confidence. My shyness was not a personality trait. It was a protection habit. My brain tried to keep me safe from embarrassment. But safety and growth cannot live in the same room. If you stay safe, you stay silent. If you speak, you grow. I had to choose. Vocabulary in context. Listen to these 4 phrases. They will appear throughout this story. Weight of silence. The emotional burden of holding back your voice. Protection habit. A behavior your brain uses to avoid discomfort or fear. Steady speaking. Consistent, calm communication without panic. Willing to try. Choosing action over waiting for perfect conditions. Repeat after me. Weight of silence. Protection habit. Steady speaking. Willing to try. Good. Keep these in your mind. They will guide your progress. Grammar focus, past continuous versus simple past. Notice how I describe past events. I was sitting in a cafe. Past continuous, setting the scene. Someone looked at me. Simple past, completed action. My brain started racing. Simple past, sudden change. I felt my shoulders rise. Simple past, physical reaction. Repeat after me. I was walking home when it started raining. She asked a question and I froze. We were talking when the phone rang. Good. These patterns will help you tell your own stories clearly. The first step, breaking the ice. The change did not begin with a big decision. It began with a small promise. I told myself, I will speak English for 5 minutes every day. No audience, no judgment, just me and my voice. I chose my bedroom. I stood in front of a mirror. I looked at my own eyes. And I began to talk. At first, it felt strange. My voice sounded unfamiliar. I stumbled over words. I repeated sentences. I felt embarrassed, even though no one was watching. But I continued. This practice had a name. The mirror rule. 5 minutes daily. Same time, same place, same simple structure. Describe what you see. Share one feeling. Ask yourself one question. Answer it out loud. Example. I see a window. The sky is grey. I feel calm but nervous. What will I practice today? I will practice describing my morning routine. It was simple. It was repetitive. But it broke the ice inside me. I realized my voice was not broken. It was just unused, like a muscle that had never been exercised. Muscles grow with movement, not with watching. Language grows with speaking, not with silent study. During those first 2 weeks, I recorded myself on my phone. I listened back. I did not count mistakes. I counted courage. I noticed my voice shaking. I noticed long pauses. But I also noticed something important. I was speaking. I was finishing thoughts. I was not translating. I was flowing, even if slowly. I learned a key lesson. Shyness shrinks when you expose it to light. When you hide your voice, fear grows. When you use it regularly, fear shrinks. You do not need a perfect accent. You do not need flawless grammar. You need a consistent practice space where mistakes are allowed. Speaking practice, mirror routine. Pause the video now. Stand up. Look at yourself. Set a timer for 60 seconds. Follow this structure. I see. I feel. Cozy. Today I will practice. I am ready to begin. Speak clearly. Breathe. Finish the minute. Good. You just broke the silence. That is progress. Vocabulary in context. Break the ice. To start communicating after a period of silence or hesitation. Consistent practice space. A regular safe environment for repetition. Courage over perfection, choosing to act despite fear instead of waiting for ideal conditions. Repeat after me. Break the ice. Consistent practice space. Courage over perfection. Your voice is yours. Use it. Daily. Building the speaking muscle. After 2 weeks of mirror practice, I felt ready for the next step. But ready does not mean fearless. Ready means prepared. I needed tools to carry into real conversations. I needed phrases that would keep me moving when my mind went blank. I needed a way to handle pauses without panic. I built a small library of conversation chunks. These are not full scripts. They are flexible phrases that give you time to think while sounding natural. I grouped them into 3 categories: openers, bridges, and closers. Openers help you start. Actually, I was thinking about. From my experience, I'd say, that's an interesting point. I wonder if bridges help you connect ideas or buy time. Let me see how to explain this. What I mean is, to be honest, I'm still figuring it out, but closers help you finish smoothly. So, that's my view on it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for letting me share. I practiced these chunks daily. I did not memorize them like a poem. I used them in my mirror routine. I replaced stiff sentences with living phrases. My internal voice began to sound like a real conversation. Not perfect, natural. I also learned the pause and breathe method. When I felt panic rising, I stopped forcing words. I took one slow breath. I smiled slightly. I used a bridge phrase. I let the silence work for me, not against me. A 2-second pause is not a failure. It is thinking time. Native speakers use it constantly. Interactive practice, chunk replacement. Listen carefully. I will give you a stiff sentence. Then I will give you a natural chunk. Repeat both. Feel the difference. Stiff. I think it is good. I agree. Natural. Actually, I was thinking the same. It makes sense to me. Stiff. I don't know. Maybe. Natural. To be honest, I'm still figuring it out, but I'd lean toward yes. Again. Slower. Actually, I was thinking the same. It makes sense to me. To be honest, I'm still figuring it out, but I'd lean toward yes. Good. These chunks will carry you when your mind hesitates. They are your safety net. Grammar note, softening language. Notice how I use phrases like, I'd say, I wonder if, I'd lean toward. These soften your statements. They make you sound thoughtful, not rigid. In B1 speaking, softening language is more important than complex grammar. It builds connection. It reduces pressure. Practice them daily. Repeat after me. I'd say it's worth trying. I wonder if we could adjust the plan. I'd lean towards starting early. Excellent. Your speech is becoming more natural. Stepping into real conversations. The mirror was my training ground. But real conversations are the actual match. I knew I had to step outside. I chose low-stakes environments first. A weekly online speaking group, a friendly language exchange app, a cafe where I asked simple questions. I did not aim for deep debates. I aimed for short, clear exchanges. My first real attempt was messy. I joined an online group. A woman asked, "What do you do for fun?" I knew the words, but my breath caught. I said, I like read books and walking. I immediately felt the mistake. I corrected it in my head. Reading. I wanted to apologize, to explain, to shrink. But I remembered my rule. Courage over perfection. I smiled. I took a breath. I used a bridge. I said, "Sorry, I'm still practicing. I mean, I enjoy reading and walking outside. It helps me relax." The group nodded. Someone said, "Me too. Nature is calming." The conversation continued. I survived. I spoke. I recovered. That moment changed everything. I realized mistakes are not conversation killers. They are conversation connectors. When you acknowledge them calmly, you show confidence. Not the confidence of perfection, the confidence of resilience. I created a simple mistake recovery formula. Pause, stop the panic breath. Acknowledge, say calmly, "Let me rephrase that." Or, "Sorry, I mean." Correct, give the clearer version. Continue, move forward immediately. I practiced this formula daily. I even made mistakes on purpose in my mirror routine just to train my recovery. I go store yesterday. Let me rephrase that. I went to the store yesterday. Anyway, what's next? I laughed at myself. I released the shame. I learned that fluent speakers are not error-free. They are error-resilient. Speaking practice, recovery drill. Pause the video. Say this sequence out loud. Match the calm tone. I think it very important. Let me rephrase that. I think it's very important. Moving on. Again. Clear. Steady. I think it very important. Let me rephrase that. I think it's very important. Moving on. Good. Your brain is learning to recover, not retreat. Vocabulary and context. Low-stakes environment. A safe space where mistakes carry no serious consequences. Error resilient. Able to continue speaking smoothly after making mistakes. Conversation connector. A phrase that keeps dialogue moving forward. Repeat after me. Low-stakes environment. Error resilient. Conversation connector. You do not need to be perfect to be understood. You need to be willing. The confidence framework, your daily system. Now you know the path. Mirror practice. Conversation chunks. Pause and breathe. Mistake recovery. Knowledge becomes power only when it becomes routine. So here is your daily confidence framework. Simple, repeatable, B1 friendly. You can start tomorrow. Step 1. 10 minutes of safe speaking. Stand or sit quietly. Use the mirror or record yourself. Follow the structure, describe, share feeling, ask question, answer out loud. Use one chunk phrase, speak clearly, finish the time, no stopping, no self-criticism, just voice. Step 2. 10 minutes of structured interaction. Join a speaking group, language app, or practice with a friend. Focus on short exchanges. Use openers to start. Use bridges to think, use closers to finish. If you freeze, pause, breathe, recover, continue. Track only one thing. Did I speak? Yes or no. That is your win. Step 3. 5 minutes of gentle review. Open your notes. Write one sentence you said well. Write one phrase to improve. Say the improved version 3 times out loud. Close the notebook. Do not dwell on errors. Do not compare yourself to others. Celebrate the attempt. Progress compounds in quiet consistency. Total time, 25 minutes. Daily, balanced, sustainable. This system trains courage, communication, and correction. It builds steady speaking from the inside out. Daily affirmation and intonation practice. Listen carefully. Match my rhythm. Let your voice rise and fall naturally. I speak to learn. I learn to grow. My mistakes are my teachers. My voice is my bridge. I continue every day. Again, calm, clear, confident. I speak to learn. I learn to grow. My mistakes are my teachers. My voice is my bridge. I continue every day. Good. This is your new inner voice. Repeat it every morning. Let it guide your practice. Your 21-day voice challenge. I used to believe shyness was my permanent label. I was wrong. Shyness is just a habit, and habits can be rewritten. It took me months of quiet practice, messy conversations, and gentle returns to the mirror. But every day I chose to speak, my voice grew stronger. My fear grew smaller. My confidence grew real. You do not need to be born confident. You only need to practice consistently. You do not need perfect pronunciation. You only need clear intention. You do not need to impress everyone. You only need to express yourself. I invite you to a 21-day challenge, 3 weeks, 25 minutes daily. Follow the confidence framework, track your days, speak out loud, recover from mistakes, celebrate progress. When you finish, you will not recognize your own voice. It will sound steadier, clearer, yours. When you are ready, comment below. Day 1. I choose my voice over my fear. I speak, I learn, I grow. I will read every comment. I will reply to your journey. This channel is not a stage for perfect speakers. It is a workshop for real learners. And you belong here. Subscribe to English Compass for more honest stories, graded listening practice, and step-by-step fluency systems. Turn on notifications. Your next breakthrough is not in a new course. It is in your next spoken sentence. Before you go, place your hand on your chest. Repeat this final line with me. I do not wait for confidence. I build it. I speak. I adjust. I continue. My voice matters today. See you tomorrow. Keep showing up. Keep speaking. The silence is over. Your journey begins now.